The Armed Forces of Nigeria, in collaboration with the Nigeria Police, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and other security agencies yesterday declared fresh war on perpetrators of oil theft, especially in the Niger Delta, in a bid to improve oil production and revitalize the country's ailing economy. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has assured Nigerians that issues concerning oil theft and sabotage affecting oil production in the country will be resolved within the next 3 months. General Musa gave the assurance at a meeting with heads of security agencies in the country. Arise News correspondent Ferdinand Durowa reports.
A sabotage of oil installations by vandals and community restiveness in Nigeria's oil production areas are some of the challenges responsible for dropping oil production, while the federal government has its eyes fixed on increasing daily oil production output to 2.5 million barrels per day. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission says the country only succeeded in producing 1.5 million barrels per day in June 2024. It is to ensure the nation meets its daily allocated quota and earn enough revenue that the president has given the charge to security agencies in the country and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to tackle oil theft. Attending the crucial meeting at the Defense Headquarters are the Inspector General of Police, representative of the Director General Department of State Services, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Comptroller General of Immigration, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nigeria Correctional Service, among heads of other security agencies.
Mr. President has directed CDS to take control of the crisis that we're having in the Niger Delta operational area. Clearly, oil theft and vandalism have become a major national issue. We do have line of sight around what must be done, what should be done. Mr. President has directed the CDS to ensure that we contain this within the shortest frame of time so that we can restore national production to the level that Mr. President and our country is expecting.
On allegations about the culpability of security agents on oil theft, the Chief of Defense Staff says kinetic and non-kinetic efforts will be deployed to collaborate with the host communities and stop vandals.
And so we want to use this medium to appeal to the communities to have an understanding. Yes, we know trust has been a problem, but they can trust us, they can trust the government that we want to do things differently. Everyone will be carried along. Everyone has a role to play. It is not only for the security agencies alone. We need the communities to understand that pipeline vandalism and all the hazards being caused is also affecting them directly. And we need to stop that. We need to work together. And this meeting we had today is to harmonize that based on the mandates that the president has given us. We're going to work together as a team. All the operations will be harmonized, coming under the joint task force with the land components of all the other agencies. And we're going to work and bring results. And I can assure you, within the next shortest possible time, 2-3 months, you will see results coming in.
So we need the cooperation of everybody. All agencies are collaborating. We need the cooperation of members of the public. We need to take every step that we need to take to address all these issues. So I'm going to assure you that in the days ahead, we are going to see results of what we have discussed here today.
The petroleum industry accounts for about 9% of Nigeria's GDP and over 80% of its foreign exchange earnings, and is therefore highly negatively impacted by either falling crude oil production or prices in the international market. For a long time, crude oil prices have stabilized at over $80 per barrel, but Nigeria has failed to raise output during the period. Securing the nation's oil facilities and boosting oil production will drag Nigeria out of its economic woes by stopping the country's excessive borrowing and reduce foreign exchange inflow into the country. Ferdinand Duroha, Arise News.
3 months deadline. Music to our ears. Rufai, are you confident, optimistic that this can and will happen? Security agencies coming out to say no more oil theft. Your take on this story?
Really? Who is singing this one? Is it Justin Bieber or... who is singing this one? The security agencies. It's musical. They should keep singing. Or Pasuma Wonder. Please, if I take you back through Nigerian newspapers, just about a year ago, they gave the same deadline. In fact, they said 5 to 6 months. will end it. That was during Buhari's time.
No, so it was a different security.
It was a different security. In
team.
fact, then they showed workings. So, Ayo, it was then that they brought in Tantita and they apprehended some ship. You remember that was shown, that ship with crude oil, that a fighter jet just came, poof, through bomb, boo, 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 boo. That's when we saw what happened on the river, that they removed one pipe from one rig, and they said, oh, they are clamping down on oil theft. It was just action. To today, we've not seen any workings by Tantita. Now, the Tantita has ended up fighting the Navy. Navy fight Tantita. Oh, Belegbe. Nigeria is a joke. You see, this is a country that perpetually lies to itself. Where's the will? Where's the will to end it? We know it can be ended. There are empirical ways of using technology to be able to end crude oil theft. But are we ready to be able to go those routes? Are we ready to bring out the people that are truly perpetrating this crime? The other day we captured the ship. They burnt the ship. How are we going to give evidence and to be able to track the people? The other day we had the incident where some ship was carrying our crude to Equatorial Guinea to take it out. We finally apprehended the ship. How are we going to be able to catch the people if we are truly ready? Probably what will happen after these 3 months is we'll go and meet those that are reeling from pollution, doing poor fire, and bring 2 or 3 of them out and say we've arrested them. We'll show some photo ops here and there and parade some, people on the water and say we've apprehended them, we've stopped crude oil theft. Probably 100,000 or 200,000 barrels will increase in our quota of production and we'll be triumphalists. And afterwards we'll go back to square one. The most important thing that can end crude oil theft is number 1, political will. 2, deploying technology to be able to end it. 3, the sincerity of the NNPC in all of this. 4, going after those that collaborate with some of the IOCs to be able to fleece us off what we have in this country. As long as there's still unscrupulous elements in the ecosystem and the value chain is deeper, we are not ready.
Right. Dr. Batim.
Okay, what is the context of this story? The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, summoned a meeting of, big players in the oil and gas sector, principally the NNPC Limited and some of its agencies, upstream, midstream, and they met with security agencies, all the security agencies, including the police. And the main theme is that the President of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, has given them a marching order to stop, pipeline vandalism, stop crude oil theft in the Niger Delta. Well, this is not new. But what is the substance of the meeting? At the meeting, the Chief of Defense Staff was quoted as saying, in 3 months, they will deal with the problem of pipeline vandalism. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, said, very soon Nigerians will see results. Group MD of NNPC Limited said, crude oil theft is a threat to the stability of the Nigerian economy. They all spoke along the same lines. Have we heard this before? Yes. Will there be any difference this time around with all these promises? No. Why do I say so? You can't run a country on the basis of promises. Every time we are promised, we are given this promise. We were told, was it yesterday morning, that in fact by the end of this year, there will be 2 million barrels production of crude oil per day. And I was asking the question, on what is that confidence based? Maybe now we have a clue, maybe on the basis of the security meeting they had yesterday. We had this same meeting under President Buhari. President Buhari asked General Ndiomu of Amnesty International, not Amnesty, Amnesty Program, the local program, the local Amnesty Program, to do a report. What happened to that report? There was at a point a committee headed by Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, also to look into crude oil theft. As a governor in that South region, for him to be able to provide leadership and all that. What happened to the report? Gbenga Komolafe the head of the upstream regulatory agency, also, I think, commissioned a report. What happened to that report? I asked Engineer Komolafe when he was on this program this week, I asked him, what is the percentage of crude oil theft? He could not say it. If there is crude oil theft, some intelligent people should have basic figures, basic statistics, based on the various investigations they say they have been doing. That is why every little new effort looks suspicious, looks skeptical to Nigerians. Now, I hope that, since they are all promising us hope, that this committee that they are putting together, these security agencies working with major stakeholders, I hope they will not end up collecting responsibility allowance, collecting, sitting allowance, and then visiting Niger Delta all over again. People have been visiting, looking for these pipelines that are being vandalized, looking for the crude oil thieves. They can't find them. I hope that it will not happen the way it has happened in the past, that they will come in another 2 weeks. They will say they have discovered 50 illegal refineries. And our boys, the task force, the joint task force of the Niger Delta, has moved against those illegal refineries. These illegal refineries always crop up all the time. Is it a blacksmith store? Why is it that they don't discover those illegal refineries while they are still being constructed? Why is it that it's after they have stolen crude that they say they have discovered it? I hope that they will not come tomorrow and say that, the committee that President Tinubu has put in place has to visit London. This agency in London that tracks, crude oil sales and all that, that we have to go to their offices to look at the records. No, they don't have to go to the offices. They can find the records in a more, technical way. So let this not be an opportunity for people to make claims and spend money, and then 2 years down the line, another president in the future, whenever, we will be talking about this same crude oil theft. And finally, what is the percentage of crude oil that is stolen? I think Nigerians have a right to know. They can't turn the thing into a scaremongering, into a scarecrow, within the Nigerian economy, and they will be meeting on a regular basis. And I hope they will also not come with a funny story to say, Tantita has discovered one vessel that is stealing crude oil, and the vessel has been destroyed. We know the story. We know the storyline. If they try it, we'll shoot them down here.
There's a figure for you. Naiti said over 600 million barrels in the last 12 years.
In the last 12 years?
Yeah, some numbers.
Yeah.
That's what Naiti said.
Is the number correct? What is it based on?
Some
which
numbers.
report?
That's what Naiti says.
Numbers. But, okay, let me give the security agencies the benefit of the doubt. And I say that because, like I was saying to you, Rufai, a new sheriff is in town, and let's hope that this time they actually want to do what is right. The last time this sort of meeting was had was under a previous administration and under a different CDS. But this is a new sheriff in town, a new administration, a new set of security agency leaders who want to do and do well in 3 months to end vandalism or crude oil theft as a whole. Now, in order to do that, they say in Yoruba parlance, but I'll translate in English very loosely, the ant that is eating the leaf is inside the ant. And so the first step... so the first step...
You a follower.
I was trying so much to avoid trying to...
will become a Yoruba station.
I was trying so hard.
The way you people are carrying
I was trying so hard to just say it in the English way because you can understand it that way. But if they're serious about this, then they must start within. I'm glad that they've made reference to complicity of security agents when it comes to oil theft. But a number of times we know that they know the people behind it. And that's why it's important that you said that if they are serious about this, that 3 month deadline can actually happen. But is there political will? Is there a will even amongst the people themselves to ensure that investigations are done and those who are found culpable amongst the ranks are brought to the book? Because this level of theft cannot happen without complicity from the inside or people who are benefiting from this theft within. And so that must be the body language. If we're going to take this seriously, take their words seriously, then we must see that, action being taken. When we had the NUPRC head here with us a few days ago, we talked about the metering and the fact that it would help to see how much oil was, and then be able to gauge how much oil was being stolen. But beyond that, we first of all even talked about the transparency in awarding of the contracts to the firms that were going to do the metering, one of which was the Homes and Properties. I'm hoping that we would get some sort of response with regards to that, as to, at that level, if we're not doing things right, then we're not yet serious about fighting this corruption, this oil theft, and being able to salvage our much needed crude to shore up our production. We're not ready. The second thing is that was Alhaji Aliko Dangote that said the oil cabal is bigger than even the drugs cabal. Who are the people inside benefiting from crude oil theft who would not allow things to work, including efforts by security agencies? If these things are not investigated or brought to the fore, then we have not even started. I also, and I'll end by this, very importantly, the points they made about kinetic and non-kinetic. I know the word has been overused, but the truth is that if you're going to fix these, the crude oil theft, you must deal with the issue, the underlying issues, especially the young people who are used as puppets when it comes to things, who are used as the actors in this theft. Have you addressed the issues of poverty? The Niger Delta and the oil-producing areas, have they been well looked after, especially by agencies set up to ensure that that area is being looked after? If we don't deal with these issues, then we're still going to come back after 3 months and keep talking about these things over and over and over again. This can be fixed. It can happen. I am sure, I am confident. But the only thing we need is that we need people who are honest, who there's integrity, and people who are willing to do the work. Very important. And the backing of the president. If we have that, we can definitely come back in 3 months with a success story.